Blessings, everyone. This is Master Voyager, and I got some powerful revelation and some teaching to share with everyone today. And I hope you are tremendously blessed. Please go ahead and hit the like so I can get this video out there. Comment your opinion, as long as you're respectful, and please subscribe and share. I got two powerful teachings, but I'm gonna break it up in two. It's two different teachings, but I'm just letting you know. The first teaching I have here, let me pull up my chair. The first teaching I have here is called Your Spirits Know You. And I have my notes written down because I didn't want to freestyle like I normally do. I wanted to have a more structured, form or teaching. So the first one is Your Spirits Know You. Do you know that you have spirits? Some of you do, some of you don't. This is my spiritualist or occultist or whatever, spiritual title you want to call yourself. This is for you. Everybody has their group of spirits. Every single person that is on this earth, you have your group and pantheon of spirits that follow you from past lives. Some are ancestral, and some you've actually picked up along the way, consciously or unconsciously. Some spirits that like you or resonate with you begin to walk with you and so forth. But for the most part, like I said, everybody has their spirits that are assigned to them. Every single person. There's no such thing as a person who does not have spirits. Please don't believe that lie. And if you're, from Christianity or any monotheistic religion, I'm from Christianity, then, you'll be debating me in your mind or whatever. I don't got no spirits. Well, keep on believing that. That's why your life is jacked up. So now you have spirits. And these spirits were assigned to you by the infinite or the most high, and they are a part of your soul's contract, meaning before you reincarnated, some of you may be on a certain number of carnations. I had a divination done. According to what the divination said, I'm on my fourth reincarnation. And so when you come back to this earth or come to this earth, some of you it's the first time, you have a number of spirits, spirit guides. They go by different names that you contracted or covenanted with, that you're going to work with and walk with in this lifetime of yours. And some of them are just for this lifetime. Some of them continue to walk with you from lifetime to lifetime. It all depends. It really all depends. And these spirits, some of them are ancestors. Some of them are, spirit animals. Some of them are actually deities, gods and goddesses. It just depends. But let's just use a generic term as spirits. All right, let's just generalize the whole thing. They know you. And when I say they know you, they work with you and they work for you for a certain purpose and certain goal, according to what it is in your soul's contract, your life purpose contract. That's what they're going to do on a basic level without you asking them. And then there are moments where you have to conjure them or call them into being. You have to call them and have them or speak to them specifically or invite them into a situation before they begin to act and do such and such and such. All right, so let's get into our notes. I just want to give you a little preface there. Let's get into our notes here, and we're going to get into our teaching. Your spirits know you. So if you see me looking down, I'm looking at my notes. Your spirits know you. You can pray for anyone involving deities, meaning you can go to a deity on behalf of someone in prayer. All right, I'm being specific on my terms for a reason. We're going to get into it. You can pray for anyone involving deities, but rituals involving others is a whole different ball game. Whenever prayer is offered, it is a request for a certain outcome. That request could be denied. That request could be accepted but delayed. That requests could be accepted and acted upon quickly. But the prayer request is light, right? So it takes the pressure off of the forces to act upon your request when you're praying for someone. So that's like, oh, Shun, please help this sister. I see her struggling with some depression and some self image issues. I do come to you on behalf of her. Just help her love herself and see herself. That's a prayer request. That's a prayer petition, right? So it's light. It takes the pressure off of that deity to act forcibly upon your request. Whenever a ritual is done, this is a very active and special way that more forcibly calls upon and pulls the forces into being to act in regards to your requests. So this is more of a, all right, I'm coming to your house to speak to you and ask you and call in a favor, as opposed to me writing a letter, sending it to your house, and it gets there whenever it gets there, or me texting you. This is me showing up at your gates, showing up at the door of your house, saying, yo, I need such and such, such and such. So that's the ritual. I'm giving you the metaphor there. When it's a ritual, I'm pulling up to your house. And if I'm pulling up to your house, you know I mean business. I'm putting you on the spot for something. So your ritual that you do, or your rituals, can be done for yourself. So that will always be safer due to the fact that the forces you should be calling upon are familiar with you. Remember, I gave you the definition earlier. That's really what familiar spirits is, not the Christian understanding of familiar spirits, which they look at as demons or demonic spirits. Because if you look in the word familiar, you see family. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I was saying in the beginning, everybody has familiar spirits that work with you and for you as ordained by the Most High and contracted by you when you're reincarnated here. Everybody got familiar spirits, and you need to be getting in touch and in tune with your own familiar spirits, not the familiar spirits of somebody else. But I digress. So it's always going to be safer when you're doing rituals for yourself and the spirits that are familiar with you, when you're doing it for yourself. All right? And even in such cases, you should be doing your own divination as well to find out if there are any rituals you should do and if it aligns with your current energy. So even when you're doing, rituals for yourself for a situation, do some divination. Do some divination and find out if it's okay, if that's the right ritual, what spirits want to come and join and help out in that regard. However, when you involve someone else in your ritual outside of yourself, this can be a dicey thing. It could be a very serious thing because, as I've stated, a ritual as opposed to prayer moves energy more intensely. The forces to act upon your requests. You essentially put them on the spot. Now, if you've ever been put on the spot, you know how that feels. It feels a bit vulnerable. It feels a bit exposed. It puts you on the spot. When someone puts you on the spot, you tend to act or react instead of respond. You see the difference? So prayer causes a response. You get a response. A ritual gives you a reaction. I hope you're following me. Are you getting it? So you essentially put them on the spot in essence. So when they show up, they mean business. Because when they see a ritual, they know you mean business. You understand? So you essentially put them on the spot. So when they show up, they mean business. So if you have involved someone in your ritual that perhaps, listen to this, y'all, is in opposition to your spiritual practice. Say you are a spiritualist like myself, and they are staunch Christians. Even though they are a beloved friend or a family member, your forces will not like it or will not like to do anything for them. Are you understanding? But since you put them on the spot to do the work, they will. But You may have caused issues between them and the people you involve. hmm When all they needed was a simple prayer, right? So now possibly you may have placed them in debt to your forces and they don't even know it. You aren't in debt because you know what your forces receive from you as a payment. But of course, your folks don't know that. They don't know anything of the world that you have just involved them in. So never involve them in any of your rituals, even if they ask you to do so out of curiosity. Oh, I see you doing that, little, ancestor burning thing over there. I see you doing little rituals. I don't get a, you know what? Why don't you ask, what I'm saying, the spirits, if there's anything for me, just ask them for me. Don't do it. And I'm going to give you some guidelines. This must only be done. Watch this. If you have divined and confirmed that it will be accepted. And most importantly, this is important, y'all, listen. Make sure they give to the offering. Don't do shit free. And it don't have to just be money as payment. But listen to what I'm teaching you. Don't do it for free. Make sure they give to the offering. For example, they can give money to the offering if that's what they have, which is the easiest form of exchange anyway. Just give me the money and I'll buy the stuff needed, right? They can give money to the offering, or they can give food or drinks. They must give something to the offering. If not, you will have put them in debt and trouble with your forces. It's always safer to pray for people. Just give them up, just say a prayer for them to start off with. Because like I said, the prayer is not this intense, showing up to their house type of thing. It gives them time to respond. It's always better and safer that way. There's no karma in prayer. So listen, in my case, there was a friend that I knew, and I involved them in an ancestor money burning ritual. This was a few years ago. Out of the kindness of my heart, right? Remember, I was talking about sometimes they may ask you to do stuff out of curiosity, or you may just see a situation and just feel like, you could help. So I did this out of the kindness of my heart, thinking that it would be a sweet gesture and all of that. But when I went to dream, like a few days later after that ritual, I saw myself flying in the air, and I was in a very advanced world. This place had flying cars and all of that stuff, and every futuristic thing you could think of. Very advanced. And I ended up in a courtroom standing before a council. The council said to me, here's what they said. They said, you have put the people in the waters, and now a sacrifice must be given. What? What are you talking about? I don't understand. What you mean? Then, day after that, so I'm thinking about the dream and thinking about the interpretation. What are you talking about? They flashed in my mind what I just did. That ancestor burning ritual and ancestor money burning ritual involving this friend of mine a few years ago. Listen, after meditating on this dream, I came to the conclusion that, Brett, this teaching I'm giving you now, I have involved a friend, a loved one, out of the kindness of my heart in this ritual, but forgot to acknowledge that this individual is of another spiritual path. And I should have just prayed for them instead of including them in my ancestor money burning ritual. I didn't realize that my forces would take it that seriously. That's why they brought me to the courtroom. I then gave them offerings of fruits and jewelry to the waters, And I pray, which I believe they have, accepted my offerings and my apologies. But it was a very powerful um, teaching moment for me. Do your rituals for yourself. Don't do no rituals for nobody. If they are in opposition to your spiritual path, they're on a different spiritual path than yours, and or, like I said, most importantly, they have not sacrificed in any way, shape, or form towards the ritual you're performing. Don't do it. Just pray for folks. Just say a prayer. So, to summarize, it's always safe to pray to your forces for anyone you feel led to. It gives them space to say yes or no in their own timing. However, make sure your forces are in agreement if you add someone other than yourself in a ritual working, because you may incur a spiritual debt if they move on someone's behalf that does not deserve such services due to their spiritual path and the inability and ignorance to maintain such a relationship. Your spirits know you and work with and for you. Be careful who you put them to work for. If they're not willing to sacrifice for it, don't do any rituals for them. Just pray and let God. So, like I said, if you've enjoyed this, please like, share your comments and your thoughts in the comment box, subscribe, share this video to anyone who you know might need it. And if you are in need of a reading yourself, you can contact me. My information is in the comment box or description box. I offer readings, very, very, very affordable. $11.11 for a YouTube video like this. I can do the reading over it and send it to you. It can be private or public. It's your choice. But you must let me know that in the notes section of the Cash App and your email or the number. So you can contact me. We can correspond through text, book your reading, and we get all that done for you quickly. Or you can do $22.22, and that's an actual live phone call, which I'm able to go more in depth because I'm actually with you on the phone. Okay? My name is Master Voyager. Peace and blessings, my Voyagers.